All right, Shalom. Let's check the feed real quick. All right, we in there. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, and breaking news. All right, so the hot off the press, man. All right, brothers is posting it. Breaking news: Trump launches war on Iran when they shall say peace and safety, and you know the rest. All right, sudden destruction. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Hey, look, these prophecies are not tarrying, man. Okay, shit is happening. Let's go.
All right, y'all, I got some absolutely major breaking news here for you. Donald Trump just launched an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us, Iran. So let me tell you exactly what he said here. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Yes, he actually said that. He had the nerve to say immediately after launching an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us, he had the nerve to say, now is the time for peace.
Woo, let's go. Now is the time of peace, right? When they say it, let's get it. All right. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, but the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so cometh as a thief in the night. Verse 3, the point, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, when they shall say peace and safety, okay, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. All right. Hey, like I told you, hey, we're watching everything, man. Hey, they're talking about this peace and safety nonsense. Everybody is aware of some type of attack coming, man. Some type of response, like I was speaking about the other day. Okay. People are prepared for some type of false flag, cyber attack, whatever. Something's about to happen soon, man. Okay? Scriptures, hey, the scriptures is faithful and true, man. Okay? It says, verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Why? Because we watch it, man. We're watching everything that's going on across the planet, man. All the geopolitical affairs that's going on across the earth. We're watching them closely. Okay? So we're not in darkness. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Verse 5. You are all the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of night. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Verse 6, it says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Look at how many people that are asleep, man, that are completely unaware of what's going on, man. Okay? Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We're watching everything, man. Okay? Because we are the watchmen of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 7, for they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. All right? People are caught up in the affairs of the world, drunken off the cares of life. All right? People that don't really care what's going on. Okay? Verse 8, it says, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. Verse 9, for Yahweh Shem Yahushai have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You see, so it's going down, man. Exciting times. Let's go back.
Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Yes, he actually said that. He had the nerve to say, immediately after launching an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us, he had the nerve to say, now is the time for peace. That's like walking into a bar, knocking somebody out and breaking their jaw, and then when they get up and square up to fight you, you say, hey man, I just want peace, bro. Now's the time for peace. Well, if you wanted peace, maybe you shouldn't have broke that fucking person's jaw. This is mental, what we're witnessing here. So, don't say you weren't warned. I warned you about this in advance. There was detailed reporting that came out, like, for example, from Cy Hirsch. Cy Hirsch said the decision was already made, not only to attack the Iranian sites, but he says also to do regime change in Iran. Now, understand something. All the talk about Iranian's nuclear program, it's all bullshit. It's all a smokescreen. It's the cover story that they're using.
Told you, we've been saying this forever. It's all bullshit, man. You know, hey, this is exciting, man. All right. We told you it's all smoke and mirrors, man. Okay, America is going to war. World War III is being activated. These are the beginning of sorrows. Okay. Yahweh Shai said, when you hear those wars and rumors of wars, matter of fact, let's get that too. Right? Matthew 24. Excuse me. Okay. This is Matthew 24, verse 6, and it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, we're at the beginning stages. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, it's going down.
To go after the Iranian regime and try to get rid of it because it threatens Israeli hegemony in the region. Because stop and think about it. Who pulled out of the 2018 nuclear agreement that Iran was abiding by completely? Donald Trump did. So over a dozen times, the UN said, yes, everything's great. They're only enriching uranium so that they could get power for their power grid and for scientific research. Donald Trump ripped it up, lit it on fire, and took a shit on that agreement. And then the US had the nerve to turn around and lecture Iran and say, why aren't you guys abiding by the deal? You mean the deal that you just ripped up? What are we talking about? Now, by the way, they also, let's be clear, were not building a nuke. They were not building a nuke. Did you know that either the US or Israel or both just tried to assassinate an Iranian negotiator a few days ago? So as Trump was pretending like, bro, I'm going to give him one last chance. We'll have one last run at this peace deal. In the midst of Trump saying that, they tried to assassinate another Iranian negotiator. They already murdered, Israel did, one of the other top negotiators. They murdered their nuclear scientists, including their top nuclear scientists. They murdered military officials and political officials, and they also bombed apartment buildings where they ended up getting many civilians. This is what's happened already. And the entire time, the US and Israel are on the offense and aggressively starting a war. They play the victim and they pretend like, bro, Iran's out of control with this nuclear stuff, bro. Your own intelligence agencies say that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. So understand that is just the cover story. What they really want is regime change. They really want to get rid of this government. They want to do exactly what they did in Iraq against Saddam Hussein. So I feel like we're right back in 2002. And by the way, don't even get me started on the media. I listened to a little bit of CNN and listened to a little bit of Fox News. And I wanted to fucking take a pair of pliers and shove them in my fucking eyeball listening to them. Everything was it was such fucking propaganda. It was all, Donald Trump felt like he had no choice because of Iran being 2 weeks away from a nuke. They've been saying they're 2 weeks away from a nuke since fucking like 1992. This is such bullshit. All of it is such bullshit. So Trump also retruthed something that said Fordo is gone. So Fordo is their main nuclear site. It's at the base of this big mountain, which means, look, number one, we don't know if that's true. But number two, if it is true, originally the thought was, hey, maybe they're going to use 5,000-pound bunker busters, right? They even floated the idea of maybe using a tactical nuke. Crystal told me what they may have settled on was a 30,000-pound bomb, which, like, Jesus fucking Christ. So basically, it's like the Moab, the mother of all bombs, which Trump also dropped on Afghanistan in his first term. It looks like that may be what they used here. We don't know for sure. It could have been, you know, multiple rounds, 5,000-pound bunker busters or a 30,000-pound bomb. But we know that it happened because there was seismic data that was recorded in the region at the time. And so they definitely attacked 3 nuclear sites. Again, I want to reiterate, this is massively illegal from the Trump regime. This is illegal. This is unconstitutional. Only Congress has the authority to declare war. Only Congress. He swatted that aside completely. He doesn't care about the Constitution. He uses it for toilet paper, right? So now the point is, you have to impeach. You have to impeach. By the way, all the Trump voters out there, all of MAGA, who pretended like he was anti-war. Meanwhile, we already knew from his first term that this guy is colossally pro-war. How's it feel now, dog? How's it feel? I'm waiting for my fucking mass stack of apology forms to come across my desk because I warned all of you about this time and time and time again.
Hey, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai warned you time and time again, right? Real quick, you already know. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, and verse 33, which reads, it says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. All right. We told you over and over again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay. That the least of the flock would draw him out. All right. America is being drawn into nuclear war, World War III, and it's not going back. Okay. It's not going to be stopped. There's no turning back. Okay. Prophecy is what's happening.
This is the same guy who increased drone strikes over 400% in his first term, and you have the nerve to call him the pro-peace candidate? This is the same guy who kept us in Iraq and kept us in Afghanistan and bombed Syria twice and bombed Somalia and assassinated Qasem Soleimani and tried to coup Venezuela, did all these fucking horrible things. But no, you guys have the nerve to try to pretend like, no, you don't understand. This guy is actually the pro-peace candidate. It's Kamala. Kamala's the warmonger. She's the massive warmonger. Well, now Donald Trump has officially launched an illegal and offensive and aggressive war against Iran, a country that didn't attack us, and they weren't going to attack us. Trump attacked them first, along with Israel. Understand that? Understand the chain of events? It's super important you get that. Use your common sense. Use your reason. Don't be fucking tricked by all this stupid propaganda where they're going to pretend like, oh, Iran had a nuke that they don't have, and they were building a nuke that they weren't building, and that's why we had to do it, bro. We had no choice. So, by the way, a lot of big open questions now, right? What does Russia do? Russia's a big ally of Iran. They don't fucking like this one bit. What does China do? China's a big ally of Iran. They don't like this either.
Hey, they're about to get involved. China and Russia about to get involved. This is World War III at the beginning of sorrows, man. Okay? This is the reality.
And they weren't going to attack us. Trump attacked them first, along with Israel. Understand that? Understand the chain of events? It's super important you get that. Use your common sense. Use your reason. Don't be fucking tricked by all this stupid propaganda where they're going to pretend like, oh, Iran had a nuke that they don't have, and they were building a nuke that they weren't building, and that's why we had to do it, bro. We had no choice. So, by the way, a lot of big open questions now, right? What does Russia do? Russia's a big ally of Iran. They don't fucking like this one bit. What does China do? China's a big ally of Iran. They don't like this either. So, hey, it's almost like different parts of the world are on different sides, and Trump just launched a massive war. So would we call that a world war that could potentially unfold because of this? It's absolutely possible. It's absolutely on the table.
Hey, come on, man. How plain can this thing be made, man? All right. Hey, the hopeful year of our salvation and the destruction of Esau, man. All right. This shit is moving fast. All right. Going back to the point that I made real quick. Let me just remind you. Let me pull that back up. All right. Give me 1 second. Where is it at? Death is at America's door, right? Let's pull that back up. Let's see. Here we go. We got it right here. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Look how close, man. All right. Again, the average empire survives 250 years. Is America at death's door, man? Okay, can't make this up. And we almost out of here, man. You see?
Table. I wish it wasn't. But when you have a government like the US and Israel, who are so fucking unhinged and so bloodthirsty, and they're not connected in any way, shape, or form to reason or reciprocity or international law, this is where you end up. But more importantly, okay, so now, look, it's existential for Iran. This is an existential thing for Iran. So what are they going to do next? Well, there's a bunch of things on the menu. Iran could launch against our military bases in the region. They could do it now. They could do it in the near future. We don't know. But they could absolutely wreck our military bases and our infrastructure in the region. That's on the table. They might go as far as to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which, of course, would be a catastrophe for the global economy, just an absolute mess for the global economy. And everybody would feel that if they decided to do that. That's another thing they could do. And then cyber attacks are potentially on the table. In fact, as I'm talking to you literally right now, we get the word that Truth Social just went down. Is that because of an Iranian cyber attack as a direct result of Trump illegally bombing Iran's nuclear facilities? It's very possible. It's very, very possible that's what happened here. So this is, we knew it was coming. I told you it was coming, but that doesn't make it any less horrible when we actually see it. Trump just launched an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us and lied about the justification. Oh, they have a nuke, or they're about to have a nuke, and that's unacceptable. They don't have a nuke. They weren't building a nuke. You are a fucking warmonger who wants regime change, and the Israel lobby has paid you hundreds of millions of dollars, and you're also doing their bidding. So welcome to the era, not just of neocon warmongers, but we're beyond that now. We're at neocon warmonger imperialism. Imperialism. That's what we're witnessing, which is why this is the same fucking guy who threatens to steal Greenland, who threatens to own Gaza, who threatens to steal Panama, who threatened war with Mexico. He's got a laundry list of like 10 fucking countries he's either threatening or already bombing, like Yemen or Somalia. And again, MAGA had the nerve to tell me he's the peace candidate. Well, tell me how my fucking ass tastes now, bitch, because I warned you all this was going to happen, and now it's fucking happening. Again, I'll be waiting for those apology forms, but watch what happens now, because most of the MAGA commentators will move the goalposts. Now it'll be, bro, this was just like, he got bad advice from the people around him, bro. Trump's the pure one, and his heart was in the right place, but like the people around him did it and sort of made him do it, bro. That'll be one of the things they say. The other thing they'll say is, oh, he offered them a last-minute deal, and they said no. And so therefore, since they walked away, Trump gave them a chance, and they walked away. So what was he supposed to do? They will find a way to move the goalpost. Oh, it was just a quick strike, and now we'll get out. And again, wait for it. The end goal is regime change. So what happens from here? How quickly do they move to that? Does the U.S. do it? Does Israel try to do it? Do they both do it, right? How long is the timeline on that? We don't know. But anything and everything is on the table now, because what we just witnessed now should have been off the table. An illegal and offensive strike against a country that didn't attack us, okay? Impeach, impeach, impeach. No more questions, no more debates, no more fucking Democrats tucking their tail between their legs and running away, scared of their own shadow. If you don't impeach now, you have no balls to ever do anything right ever. If you don't impeach over this, you also wouldn't impeach if Trump decided, I'm going to fucking nuke Greenland or some shit, right? Because there's never been anything that's more of an open and shut case. You cannot make any argument that, oh no, this is legal, this is constitutional. What they try to do is say, oh, you know, remember that thing we passed, the authorization for use of military force against like Iraq and Afghanistan for the war on terror in the early 2000s? Yeah, that counts now. Over 20 years later for this fight, which has nothing to do with that fight. Right? That's the bullshit they try to do, but it is so transparent. It's so obvious that's nonsense. It's so obvious this is illegal and unconstitutional. The law has to matter. It has to matter. Hold him accountable. Impeach him. Full court press. Argue against this not just from a procedural and process perspective, but also argue against it from a substantive perspective, guys. This is insane what we're witnessing here. So unfortunately, major breaking news. Donald Trump has officially launched an illegal war against Iran. He's attacked their 3 nuclear sites, including their main nuclear site. They were not building a nuclear weapon. They were not. So this is deeply criminal. This is war criminal shit. And now, who knows what else is on the table? But as I said, now what we might see is Iran tries to hit our bases in the region, might shut down the Strait of Hormuz, might launch cyber attacks, might come up with something that I can't even think of now. Might find an even bigger hypersonic missile to launch at Israel or something. Like, who knows what else is on the table, because they just opened the door to hell.
Whoo, let's go, man. Anything can happen, right? Ezekiel 7:25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there should be none. Whoo, man, right? And the comment here, man, this caught my attention, right? July 4th, 2026 is America's 250th anniversary, right? That's why, going back to that article again, okay, death is definitely at America's door. Or yeah, is America at death's door, right? Let's just read that real quick, right? Read it again, okay? Bear with me. Let's make it a little bigger, because this is heavy stuff, man. The Lord is working the work. It says studies show that an empire survives on average a mere 250 years. Did you know that? To put that into context, the world's oldest person recently died at 124 years old. So she lived nearly half as long as most empires do. Most Americans are unaware of this small but crucial statistic, which may suggest much about our country's future. It is past time for Americans to confront the painful reality that our time as a world superpower may be limited. And it is time to explore how to slow down what, frankly, is inevitable at some point. The United States' global domination will not persist indefinitely. See? This may be difficult to grasp and accept, but it has never been true. But it has never been true for any civilization in the past, and it will never be true for any society in the future. Whoo, man. Right? Let me get a quick scripture. All right. Prophecy is on fire right now, man. Let's go. Right? Because like the scripture say, the Lord is the one that ruleth in the kingdom of men. Right? I just want to get this real quick. Acts 17. Excuse me. Let me see. Where is it at? Acts 17. And here we go. Acts 17 and verse 26, it says, and have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation, right? Let's read that in the NLT. All right. This is Acts 17 verse 26 NLT. The point, it says, from one man he created all the nations throughout the whole earth. He decided beforehand when they should rise and fall, and he have determined their boundaries. All right. So how much more America? Okay, Babylon. All right, we're reaching the end point of this society existing. Is the point? Okay, the end is happening in our lifetime, whether you see it or not, whether you believe it or not, man. Okay, this is a prophecy is screaming loud and clear, right? And another point too. That's right, God's time, it is perfect, brother. That's right, man. Right? And there was a comment that this same brother made earlier. All right, let me go back up. This brother here, Rejoice. It says Freemason Albert Pike, WW3 letter finally coming true, right? And when he said that, that sparked my mind, because I saw a video on Instagram. I want to pull up real quick just to make that point. Okay, it's all coming to pass. Let me pull that up.
In the dream, he predicted 3 world wars. The First World War, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. He's now thinking about this Third World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted.
So this war that's happening now, World War III, is going to be started by the political Zionists in the Islamic world. Okay, this is going down exactly as it was planned, right?
In such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion.
There we go. So it's all coming to pass, man. Heavy stuff, right? Let's go to this real quick and we'll wrap this up.
This is a Fox News alert. News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, that's just seconds ago from President Donald Trump on Truth Social, suggesting that those B-2 bombers that perhaps were on the way may have been behind this. We'll get more details on these 3 sites that the president said has been attacked inside Iran. This comes after days of negotiations to try to get Iran to the negotiating table. The president of the United States saying it would have to be unconditional surrender, saying enrichment would have to stop. We heard from negotiations in Europe that that was not being accepted by the Iranians, that they would not stop enriching uranium. There was a thought that this could go as long as 2 weeks, as the president said he would decide within 2 weeks. However, 2 days is within 2 weeks. And now word from President Donald Trump that these attacks have happened. Again, interesting that 3 sites have been struck by U.S. bombers. And this, again, we'll get more information about the exact targets and what bombs were used. We expect that the GBU-57, the bunker buster, the massive penetrator bomb, may have been one of those used. Fordo is a nuclear facility inside Iran that is roughly a half-mile deep underneath a rock mountain-like facility that has been said to be the site of a lot of the enrichment capability. Esfahan, believed to be a storage facility for enriched uranium, and Natanz, another part of the nuclear facilities. They have several throughout Iran. It has been long described as a very difficult and tedious effort to go after these nuclear sites, but the U.S. for the first time launching an attack inside Iran. Again, the president of the United States saying all of the planes are out of Iranian airspace. The bombings do continue by the Israelis inside Iran as this back and forth volley between Israel and Iran has continued for some 2 weeks. We expect to hear more about this operation, not only from the Pentagon, but perhaps from the White House, although the White House this evening, has called a lid, as far as meaning no one will talk after that. That may be changing now. Obviously, we have this Truth Social post from President Donald Trump.
Don't mix pink salt with 3 other ingredients.
Hey, there you go, man. All right, so it's going down, man. All right. Hey, keep your head on the swivel. All right, we're living in some very serious and dire times, man. All right, beautiful times, yo. You know, what else can we say? And one more point before we wrap this up. I was looking at this earlier too. Let me pull this up. Hey, because America's cooked. All right, military is cooked, man. Let me pull this up. Niggas dancing around. Hey, America doesn't stand a chance, right? Check this out. Right, niggas dancing around, right? Let me pull this up, man. You see? Hey, this is America's military, man. Niggas dancing around, buffoonery, right? You know? So it's over, man. You might as well stick a fork in it, man. All right. Yeah, this is the time we live in. Hey, this is who's fighting for America, man. Right? So I just wanted to play that real quick, man. I thought that was funny. All right. But anyway, we'll wrap this up. All right. Breaking news. Trump launches an attack on Iran. World War III has started. And let's see what happens, man. Cyber attack, false flag. Something is brewing up. All right. So you can check out all the news that's circulating online an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. All right. This is going to be on the headlines for the next few days here, week, whatever, so it's going down. All right. So I pray that this quick lesson was edifying. We'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and Shalom to the next one. Shalom.